Hi everybody, welcome to Justice of the Round Table. I'm Audrey.
And I'm Izzy.
Izzy, would you like to talk to me about adventure games this week?
I would love to talk to you about adventure games this week.
Yay!
Which one would you like to start with?
I think we should start really strong. I think we should dive right into Zelda? Right off the bat. Yep. I think it's number one in many people's books. Certainly it's number one in my book.
Absolutely that.
Okay, I know that you're most familiar with Breath of the Wild.
This is true. I feel like some OG Zelda fans might scoff their noses at me, but I don't care. It's a beautiful, game. Wonderful game.
Absolutely it is. Absolutely it is. It's well made. It's on the Switch, which makes it so easy and delightful to play.
Yes,
and
portable.
Bring it on. Yes, yeah, exactly. Like you can bring it on a bus, you can bring it on a plane, pop it in your backpack, play it on campus, whatever. It's a lot of fun, and I think and it's a very different experience too, because I grew up playing Zelda on the couch with Nintendo 64s and GameCubes and stuff, which was really fun. But there is something really neat about being able to take it outside with you and take it somewhere else, and even like at a cafe or something, that brings a kind of different experience to the Zelda franchise, which is, I think, a very cool. It makes it more adventurous, and we're talking about adventure games. I love that.
I know. I'll sometimes take my Switch to my family's house when we have like family gatherings, and my little cousins like got into Zelda because I would bring it over, and well, I think that's the reason. Might not be the reason. I'm tooting my own horn a little bit here. But I think the reason that they got into it is because they would watch me play, and I would let them play sometimes on my Switch, which is very cool. And now they're like huge Zelda fans, and they'll give me their little updates.
Oh, about are they playing Breath of the Wild or other games too?
It's about I got the Master Sword.
Yes,
good job, Jaden. Yes. I'm so proud of you. So cool.
There's something very special about couch multiplayer, especially with adventure games. And when I say couch multiplayer, I mean like when the game itself is not actually a multiplayer game, but when you sit on the same couch next to each other, or in the same room, in the same space with each other, and watch one person play the game, and you might like pass the remote around or something, or just one person plays. But I think adventure games specifically are a lot of fun for that kind of environment, because like I know that I have played. I don't actually like the game Red Dead Redemption. I find it extremely boring.
Okay, whoa, hot take.
This is my hot take. But if my sister is in the room, I will play that game for 6 hours straight, no problem. Because it's like literally the fun that I get out of playing that game is from making my sister laugh when I fall off my horse and accidentally run into a tree. And it's extremely funny. Like, that makes the game worth it for me. So like some games I think are very much elevated by having someone else watch you play them and like commentate on it. It's good.
Yeah. I don't play a ton of video games. That's more like my brother's. But like growing up, it was always my younger brother playing like Call of Duty or whatever, and I would sit in the living room while him and my dad played. And it wasn't like they were excluding me. Like, I just don't like to play games like first person shooter games. They're kind of boring to me. But I did like watching them play like Modern Warfare. I think 4 was my favorite because it had a map with dead cows on it, and I just loved the cows, even though they were dead and they had flies on them. And I loved the concept of the Nuketown map also. I just liked watching them play. But yeah, I agree.
There's like true multiplayer like Mario Kart and Super Smash and stuff, and then there's couch multiplayer of just like sitting in the same space and sharing in the experience, which is good. I think I also I got a really big kick. We'll get back to Zelda. I think this is better though, just talking broadly, and then we can go back to the specifics, or go back to Zelda. But I think Resident Evil was a significant game for my couch multiplayer experience of adventure games, because it was the start of the pandemic, and the PlayStation Store had a big sale on like all of the Resident Evil games, because I think Resident Evil 7 or something had just come out. So I found the HD remake or not the HD remake, but like, a newer version of the first Resident Evil game that my mom and dad had played when I was much younger, but I had never played or seen anything of. And so we bought it for like $3 on the PlayStation Store. And because we were all home quarantining together, we were just sharing this couch together, fighting zombies and solving puzzles. And the first Resident Evil game is so atmospheric. Some of the other ones are too, but the first one is set. It's the Clue Mansion. It's the Clue Mansion.
Okay.
It's the dark and stormy night. It's so good. And it's set, I think the first Resident Evil is set all in one night. So it's literally like the weather doesn't change. It's like all the same day, no matter how long it takes you to play the game. So it's this dark and stormy night in a big old abandoned manor house that's got like secret underground science labs and stuff and weird things everywhere. But I think like sitting at the couch and passing the remote between each other when one person got stuck on a puzzle, we'd hand it off so that somebody else could go try and figure out that puzzle, and then we would just yell at them, backseat drive,
Backseat
and yell
gaming.
at them to backseat gaming.
We use the term backseat gaming a lot in my household.
Yeah, it's great. It's a perfect term. It's
Yeah. Especially my dad, like, we'll all play Fortnite together, and a lot of times when we'll play in the same like match, we'll all die, and then sometimes it'll be like just my dad playing. And when he wasn't good, he's good now, but when he wasn't good, my little brothers would just be like yelling at him the whole time. It's good. Stop backseat gaming.
Let him cook.
Let him cook. Let him cook. That's what we say now. Let him cook.
Let him cook. Okay. So I think let's float back into Zelda, because that was the first adventure game. I mean, it was the first game that I ever played, but I played it at a point where my imagination was at such a level where it was like I could step outside and go to the playground and like just be Link and run around. But then I think also the two like biggest adventure like games that felt the most like adventures in the Zelda franchise that I played are Wind Waker and Skyward Sword. And I think both of them, it's because of the travel mechanics of the game. So Wind Waker has this huge, it's like the precursor kind of to Breath of the Wild, where it's like you have a gigantic ocean that is your map of the world, and you have a boat and you sail around all of that, and you find these little islands, and some of them are significant and have civilization and people on them, and some of them are just tiny little islands with plants and palm trees. One chest. Yeah, exactly. And so that like Wind Waker feels very much like an adventure, and the music in that game specifically is very much like, it's kind of upbeat and grand in a way that feels very adventurous. And it kind of has I think there's also something about the hero's journey that happens in Wind Waker specifically. Like it's very much like you're starting at home. Wind Waker probably more than all of the Zelda games have it in a way. Like and now that I'm thinking about it, Twilight Princess has got it, Skyward Sword has got it, but Wind Waker is like just so obvious with it, because you're starting on your home island where Link is from, where his grandma lives, where his sister lives, where he knows everybody there. And that's like the classic heroes, the beginning of the journey, the safety of home, and like knowing, just being in complete comfort and safety here. And then his sister gets kidnapped, and then suddenly this place that was safe is no longer safe. And that's the thing, that's the catalyst to start the adventure and leave home. Guys, do I have to explain the hero's journey?
If they're listening, they surely have access to the internet and can
surely they have access to the internet. Also, if you just email me at gesturespod@gmail.com,
get an
I'll
essay
send
back
you a
if
link.
you want.
or I'll write you an essay. That's fine. No problem.
You know, Breath of the Wild and I think Tears of the Kingdom, they don't really get that, do they? They don't get that safety of home.
Yes.
Kind of thing, because it's so predicated on the past games, which I think is also interesting, like why I love Zelda so much. Even though I haven't played most of the games, I have done a lot of like Wikipedia deep dives into them. Yeah. And so like I got kind of a grasp on like the quote unquote timeline and then all the wackiness associated with that. But that's That's another reason why I really loved Breath of the Wild, is because it includes all of the previous games' lores, which I think is so cool.
And like if you want a series with lore, there's no better place to look than Zelda.
Holy moly, yeah.
Holy moly, it goes deep. I think Breath of the Wild is really interesting because it's so open world. Like, and it's obvious just from that right there, the difference of having the safety of home versus starting completely bare and naked, literally like that difference, it makes it so obviously an open world game where it's like you're starting with nothing. This is ground zero. And like, you know, all of these other Zelda games, you start with ground zero, you start with 3 hearts and no sword, but there's the illusion of already having things. You have relationships with people. Like every Zelda game, you have relationships because you have friends that work on the farm with you in Twilight Princess, or friends that are on the same island with you in Wind Waker and stuff. But then Breath of the Wild, you don't even have your memories. You wake up with amnesia. You're literally a blank slate.
And you have a blank slate also.
And you have literally a blank slate also. Which, yeah, it's like the epitome of an open world game, but with the rich contextual background of all of the lore of a Zelda game, which is very cool. Good setup for an adventure game.
How do you feel about Tears of the Kingdom?
It frustrates me a little bit because it was such a crazy shift to go from the rest of the franchise to Breath of the Wild, which is just like, we're changing it up, we're doing something new this time, and it's gonna be wild. And for that to be such a huge success, and then Tears of the Kingdom comes out and it's almost the same game.
Yep.
In many, 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 many ways.
Yeah.
And the thing is, they introduce new things that genuinely make it very exciting. Like the first time I found out, I didn't know that the depths, the underground level of Tears of the Kingdom was a thing until 30 hours of playtime.
Crazy.
Yeah, because like most people, I think they get off of the tutorial island and pretty quickly they're like, what is this big hole in the ground? Let me jump in it real quick. I just was like, that's scary.
Yeah, that's what I did.
I was like, no way. I'm just going to keep walking around over here and filling out my map. I'm going to go see the Zoras up in the northeast.
Step 1 is fill out the map. Absolutely, yeah.
Yes. So I think that part of Tears of the Kingdom is really cool. The like difference in how people experience it. And I know some people are really into like the mechanical aspects that they introduced with the building features. And then I know that some people really like the depths in like filling out that area. And then I just I'm most interested in the Breath of the Wild aspects of Tears of the Kingdom, which makes it feel like a very similar game. Yeah. But Nintendo did enough for me to still feel like to want to play the game and be invested in it from, I don't know. I think there's more story and writing in Tears of the Kingdom than there was in Breath of the Wild. Or at least in Breath of the Wild, it was more in the background of the game. And here it's like we get flashbacks of memory that are fleshing out plot lines and stuff. I don't know.
In the beginning of... Yeah, I really enjoyed the story of Tears of the Kingdom. But I agree that it's like pretty similar. I like looking at a map that's filled out, but I don't think I like exploring the depths because it's scary. It's scary and dark down there.
It is scary.
All these creatures are trying to kill me all the time. And I like just wandering around usually. And I don't like when things try to kill me all the time. That's why sometimes Pokemon games I don't really like, because sometimes I'm just trying to mind my business and then this Rattata tries to kill me and try to pick a fight. And maybe I just want to be its friend. Maybe I don't want to battle it. Maybe I just... Maybe I don't want to skip that part.
What if we don't fight?
What if we didn't fight? So, yeah, I have filled out a lot of my depths map, but it's proving more difficult because I don't like being down there a lot of times.
Yeah. One of the best parts about Breath of the Wild, I thought, was just how satisfying it is to literally just walk around, because everything it's very much like a Ghibli movie in that everything feels alive. The grass is always moving, There's always some sort of like background ambience going on. The weather's always changing. Like, it's very alive. And when you go down to the depths, suddenly everything is dark and really quiet. And they're doing ambient work that's building atmosphere and telling you that this is like a scarier place that's more dangerous and everything. But it's not really a place where you can just wander and have it feel as satisfying as it is to just walk around up top. But I do love the Sky Islands.
Yes.
Because, oh my gosh, it's perfect. It's like you can just jump off this island, glide around, and go to the next island. You can fly. It's so cool. It's so cool.
I love the Sky Islands, and I love watching the sunsets on the Sky Islands, and I like jumping on the dragons and riding the dragons for a little bit.
Yes. Dude, public transportation, the greatest public transportation there's ever been. Hop on those dragons real quick, ride around to another part of the kingdom.
It's really good. Don't take the Zelda one, though, because, don't take the light dragon.
Spoilers.
Cut that up. Don't take the light dragon, because that one will take you a long time.
Honestly, like, the Zelda stuff has been one of my favorite parts of Tears of the Kingdom, because you get, like, spoiler territory. If you care about spoilers for Tears of the Kingdom, maybe skip, like, 10 minutes. But one of the first things I did when I got Tears of the Kingdom was go to Hateno Village, because in the last game, and by the way, I didn't look up anything about this game. I didn't watch trailers for Tears of the Kingdom. I didn't do anything because I just wanted to go in blind as blind as I could. Maybe I watched one trailer. I think I watched the first trailer that came out back when it was like the first announced, and then I didn't watch anything else because I was like, I'm just gonna wait for the game. But like, I knew from Breath of the Wild that I had a house. Link has a house in Hateno Village, so I went there right away
to my house
in Hateno Village, Izzie's house. And it turns out like that Zelda's been living there.
It's not my house anymore.
It's not Link's house anymore. It's Zelda's there, and she's got like a little cave underneath the house where she like does work and studies and stuff. And it's totally like unnecessary. Like, it's not a game thing that has to be there at all, but it does so much delicate, intimate storytelling work to see that Zelda and Link shared a space like that is just really beautiful, I think. And then that was for me something that I found really, really early in the game, so it kind of contextualized all of the storytelling that happened in the flashbacks and the memories that you find. And so when you find out that Zelda's the light dragon, it's like, all I want to do now is go up and sit on her head and like keep her company while I'm trying to figure out how to save her. And that's really beautiful. Like, I love that you can do that in the game.
I think every time I open the game now, because I haven't played like consistently since like December, but every time I open it up, I do find Zelda and I sit on her head for a little bit.
Yeah. I put on my, the outfit that you get on the tutorial island, the green, like the half, like tunic. The sash tunic thing. I put on that because I love Link with his hair down.
Me too. That's my favorite. So that was my favorite. Oh man, when I played the game for the first time and he had his beautiful hair down, I said, thank you so much for the food. Thank you so much for this delicious meal.
Literally. Yes. There's something like, because you see Link in the first game and all the flashbacks, he's like a hardcore knight. He's like, he's training hard. He's a silent protagonist. He's very serious. And then you get to see him with his hair down as soon as you open up Tears of the Kingdom. And yes, I love to see like the freedom. It just makes it feel like he's experiencing more freedom without him having to say a word, which is so cool. Like the hair down on the top of Zelda's head, just chilling, Master Sword in hand. Mm-hmm. And they perfected horses, which does wonders for an adventure game.
Perfected horses.
Finally.
Didn't we have a bit we did the other day about how there was the Minecraft horses? Cut this out, because it doesn't make any sense.
Well, we can explain it.
Can we?
So Izzy and I, yes, because we were talking about, wouldn't it be funny if like we replaced one object, put another 3D model in place of an object in a Zelda game, and it would be extremely funny if the perfect, beautiful, glorious Breath of the Wild horses were replaced with low poly Minecraft horses.
I don't remember how that conversation came about, so thank you for explaining.
I don't either. You're welcome. I don't remember it beyond the actual bit itself.
But then the horses in the stables were all like still the Breath of the
normal.
Wild. Normal. Stupid.
You go to the stable and try to get your horse in the stable, and the stable master's like, I don't know what is wrong with your horse. Ours are normal.
We do not have saddles shaped like that.
We don't have square saddles. No way. I've raved to you a little bit about Skyward Sword too, but that game, and some people probably would be like, say that it's not a good adventure game, because a good adventure game would let you have the freedom of like finding the story on your own. Whereas Skyward Sword has been criticized for having a very linear storyline. But I think it's still a wonderful adventure game. And again, I think like the travel mechanic has a lot to do with it. You have sky islands floating around in the sky, and a bird, like a giant, humongous bird that you fly on the back of. And any game where you have like the opportunity to experience that level of freedom and to not have to also worry about the story constantly while you're doing that thing feels very liberating, because the reason Skyward Sword still feels like so much of an adventure game is because you don't have to fly around on the back of the bird. You can just go, you can hop on your bird, fly to the exact spot that you need to fly, and then get off and not have any fun. Or you can fly around the sky for 20 minutes and then decide and save the game and then decide that's enough for the day.
Yes.
Like, I love that you can just have that space to explore. And it's not a huge map. It's nothing compared to the size of Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom or anything. But it's beautiful, and the music is beautiful, and the storytelling is great. The characters are great. Some of my favorite Zelda NPCs come from Skyward Sword. I'm not name dropping. No one gets to know my favorite Skyward Sword characters.
Okay.
Do you want to talk about Pop Tropica? I'll tell you about my favorite island, or at least like the one. So Pop Tropica was a web game,
I think
like
it's
a browser
still around.
game. It's still around. It's way different nowadays than it was when we were growing. I logged in the other day.
Oh, really?
To like check it out again.
I haven't logged in since like middle school.
I logged in, changed my outfit, and then tried to do an island and couldn't find an island.
No.
And I was like, what's going on? And then I just logged out again. But it's like a browser-based adventure game where you go to islands, and the islands are basically like one-off stories and puzzles, like big long puzzles that you do. And I think my favorite island, the one that I played the most, was the Red Dragon Island, based off of the Magic Treehouse book.
Yes.
Which we talked about last week. Big Magic Treehouse heads over here.
Did. I don't know. Did I include that at all in the episode?
Oh, was it?
I don't think I did. No, I don't think I did.
Okay. Well,
oops.
Izzy and I are Magic Treehouse enjoyers. And so I was excited when they released that, which was like when I was still in middle school. They released that island. And the Pop Tropica, weirdly enough, was extremely atmospheric for not having any music for the longest time. There was no music, and you would expect like Red Dragon Island to be like having taiko drums, anything you would associate with a traditional Japanese symphony,
Yeah.
a traditional Japanese sound. But it didn't have it. But it was just, I don't know, the storytelling was just good enough. I remember that I would play that island and then immediately reset it and see how quickly I could do it after beating it, which was fun.
I just remember I would always go to the island that had the drink that let you change your hair color. Go there all the time. I don't remember what it was. I remember it was like creepy, and there was like dead trees everywhere.
Yes. And it was like a milkshake, right? Like it was like a retro.
I think it was like,
it might have been the Carrot Island.
Yes, it was that one.
Was
I
it
think
the
so.
24 Karat Island?
I think so.
Yes.
Wow.
Awesome.
Yeah.
The Pop Tropica trivia runs deep in my brain.
Maybe I should open up Pop Tropica, see what's up. I don't know my login.
No, really?
I don't know.
Oh,
we'll see.
I bet you could recover it.
I'm sure I can.
No, wait.
I don't know what email.
Because there's no email attached.
There's no email?
There's not.
Oh, yeah.
I don't
we're
think
cooked.
there is.
I have to start over.
Oh, no. Maybe there is. I don't know.
I don't know. We'll find out.
There was also the reality TV show Island. Do you remember that one?
Very, very vaguely.
That one was fun because it was just a bunch of mini games that were kind of randomized. So it wasn't puzzles. It was like actually a skill-based island, which is kind of weird.
I remember the Diver Wimpy Kid one and the Big Nate one.
Oh, yes. Okay. They made the pirate Skullduggery Island
Yes,
too.
Yes. Oh, wow, you remember the names and everything. Holy moly.
Dude, I was in deep, I'm telling you. I like that. That's a perfect adventure game though. Like Pop Tropica itself was already an adventure game, but Skullduggery was like one of those classic pirate adventure. You're buying your ship, you're upgrading your ship, you're getting your gold coins.
I see it in my head so clearly now, the map going to the islands. Oh my god.
Right? And you would find you would like have to fight people.
Yeah.
Like it was one where one thing I like about adventure games is that a lot of times, especially if they're open world, there's kind of no pressure to like finish them. It's not about necessarily like the storyline or the like plot or anything. It's just kind of like especially with Red Dead Redemption, I don't care at all about this story. 0%. I just like getting on the horses and going around and fighting people and going to the bars and starting fights in the saloons. It's hilarious. It's fun. And that is like a cool app. Because like I never finished Skullduggery Island, but I had a lot of fun sailing around on that little pirate ship and buying up gold coins and chests and stuff. So it's nice when a game prioritizes like the adventure, the act of just going around and having a good time.
Yeah, I'm also I feel like I don't finish a lot of video games. Like I did finish Breath of the Wild. I did not finish Tears of the Kingdom. I like when I don't have to finish it, because then I don't feel bad when I think about like I did not finish that game.
Yes.
Oops. My mom's a 100%er. She likes to we would play a lot of Lego games. My family did. And after my brothers and I would finish the story, my mom would go back and we would get all the like master whatever and like get all the coins and all the upgrades and everything, which always made it so much more fun because then we could go back and replay levels and we could be any character we wanted, and we just had all the abilities and everything. You
just mentioned levels and it made me think about Mario, so let's talk about Mario. Okay. Have you played any? I have never talked to you about Mario. Have you played any Mario games?
I played a little bit of the cat one. I don't remember what that one's called.
The 3D World. That one's very fun.
It is Super Mario 3D World.
Okay, nice.
But we played it on the Switch. We didn't play it. I played a little bit of that. And I watched a lot of, like, there's a home video we have of I think it's my aunt playing one of the Mario games. And then me and my brother are sitting watching the TV and we're, like, singing along to the song. And it's, like, sped up.
Awesome.
So it's very silly. But I haven't really played any, I don't think.
Interesting. Have you experienced Mario through Mario Kart and
absolutely I have.
Super Smash and stuff? Okay, Mario Party, all the things. Okay, interesting. So who's your favorite Mario character?
My favorite Mario character?
Yep.
What do you mean by that?
Based on nothing?
What do you mean by that?
Based on nothing?
Well, I always play Waluigi whenever I play Mario Kart.
Okay, that's the answer I was looking for. That's exactly what I was looking for. Thank you.
How did you know?
How did I know? I wonder. Oh, that's awesome.
Who's yours? Wait,
hold on. Purple shirt today.
Shut up! I didn't even realize that. Hold on.
Tell me who my favorite Mario character is right now. You'll get it.
Will I?
Yep.
I'm looking at you. Who do I see in your soul?
Who's in my heart? What Mario character is in my heart? What's your gut say?
My gut says either Peach or Rosalina.
Okay.
Who is it?
It's Luigi.
Okay. Dang it. Okay. Can I be honest? And I'm not making stuff up. I thought Luigi, and then I said no.
The gut reaction, Izzy. I'm telling you.
I know.
It's Luigi. I believe you. I know you're not joshing. I knew that you knew it was Luigi. I knew that you knew that. Don't even worry about it. Don't even sweat it. I knew it already.
Wow. That's really funny.
Okay, of all the Mario games, I think you would like, and they ported this onto the Switch, I think you'd like Super Mario Sunshine. Have you heard about this one?
I've heard of it, yeah.
Okay, yeah. It's like...
Has the best name.
Oh, yeah. It's number one. It's number one definitely already just based on the name. But it's like the most perfect summertime nostalgia game you could ever imagine. Because it's just Mario on the beach in a little beach town with beachy soundtrack and beachy vibes everywhere. Yeah, and he's at the water park with a water gun. And he's like, that's the game.
That's so
it's
wonderful.
Awesome. Yes. Like, you get the classic Mario experience in Nintendo 64, like Mario 64 in the castle and everything, right? Like in the Mushroom Kingdom. And Mario Galaxy, you get like the aesthetics change based on every planet that you go to. You might be on a water world or a cave world or a bee world. Like BEE.
Yeah.
Beehive world.
I didn't know that.
But yeah, it's goofy. Galaxy is goofy. I love Galaxy too.
I've been wanting to play Galaxy also.
It's good. But there is something indescribable and irreplaceable about Sunshine. It's just so good. It's so good. And the villain, I love a dark, evil, twisted version of a character as the villain, and the villain is in fact Silver Mario. Is that his name? Metal Mario. Yeah, the bad guy is Metal Mario
was an actual character.
He's an actual character.
I thought it's
from
like
Mario Sunshine.
I thought he was like when a Funko Pop releases like a metal or a clear version of a character. I didn't know he was real. I guess I've never.
Yeah, he's legit.
I've never been drawn to Mario games because in my head I have no basis for this. But in my head they're very like the same thing over and over again, and I value like a story. Which I guess in my head Mario doesn't have that, but he must, right?
He has a story, but the thing is, you're totally right. It's the same story every time. Okay. It's oh no, Peach is in trouble. Yeah. Gotta go save Peach. Yeah. And that's like it. In Sunshine, it's a little bit funny because it's like, oh no, the island is in trouble. Okay. But Peach is also in trouble.
Yeah. She's always
so it's kind of like Metal Mario steals Peach away. Spoiler alert. But it's like, yeah, it's always the same story. But the thing that makes Mario games fun, I guess for most people, because if you value a story, yeah, Mario games aren't the most satisfying. But the level designs in Mario are like what make it exciting.
That's what I was gonna say, because like if it was the same thing over and over again, like it wouldn't sell. So I imagine like the environment must make up for it. Yeah. That's what's drawing me to Galaxy. Even though I haven't played it, like I am interested in it because I know that it has all this craziness happening in the world.
Yes. And honestly, Rosalina is like a really cool character to interact with because her story is really interesting. And all of the Luna, the little like star fairies that float around, they're very sweet. I have to tell you about one specific Super Mario Sunshine level that like blew my mind open when I was a kid. Okay. Blew my mind open. There's this one level that you get like, I don't know if it's a late game or if it's like a mid game. I don't know. But like it's kind of hard to find and you have to do something to even find the level that's like it takes a while to figure it out. And you go down there and you finally get this tube open, like the pipe, right? Mm-hmm. The Mario pipe, the classic pipe. You get the pipe open and you finally get down to this level and you're like, what could possibly be waiting for me? And it is in fact the coolest level in the whole goddamn game. It's so you start in a giant beach facing waterfront hotel. Cool. Right? Surrounded by like waterfalls. And it's, from what I can remember, the only level in all of Mario Sunshine set at night. Okay. The rest of them are like bright, beachy, classic summertime, clear sky, blue skies days, right? This one is set at like sunset, like right before it's completely dark.
At the beach?
Twilight. At the beach.
Okay.
Outside of this. Oh, yeah. It's amazing.
That's one of my favorite places and times ever. That's my favorite place-time combination.
Yes. It's miraculous and wonderful. It's so perfect. And you walk outside of this hotel that's like empty and abandoned. And you're like, why is this hotel empty and abandoned? And you walk outside and there's this little guy swimming on the sand. There's this little manta ray swimming on the sand. And you're like, well, why are you on the sand? And then you see that it's not a real manta ray. It's the goop. The goop is like something that you have to fight in in Mario Sunshine. Because you have a water gun, so like you're cleaning up the goop from. That's how you're like clearing the levels. That's like the big obstacle, other than like the monsters, is the goop that you're cleaning up with the water gun. So this goop manta ray, tiny little manta ray, is swimming around on the sand, and then it gets like huge. And suddenly, like, almost the whole beach, it feels like, is covered by this giant guy who's swimming around. And you have to just, use your water gun to spray him. And then when you spray him, he, like, breaks and splits into smaller versions of himself. So you have to, like, keep spraying them. And then you get surrounded by them. And it's very fun. And it also has one of the most banger soundtracks of any of the level of any of all of Sunshine, and it's basically like a big mini boss, and it just never comes back. And then Nintendo pulls the greatest deep cut ever. It's not even a deep cut, but they make Splatoon 3, right? Mm-hmm. And the idols in Splatoon 3, you know them: Shiver, Fry, and who? Big Man, a manta ray. And you play through the solo campaign of Splatoon 3, and you realize that Big Man can in fact do the goop magic from Super Mario Sunshine, and that his boss fight, Big Man's boss fight in the solo campaign is the mini boss fight from Super Mario Sunshine. And I reacted the same way, bro.
I didn't finish Splatoon 3 either.
Oh no, why did I spoil it?
It does not matter to me if I know the plot. Okay. I did do Shivers, and then I think I did Fries.
Shivers was fun.
The first
Fries
one
was fun too. They were all fun.
That's so crazy. But, wow. Yeah. Okay, Nintendo, you cooked there.
Yeah.
You cooked there.
Yeah, you cooked there.
That's incredible.
They said, hey, I know where I've seen a manta ray before.
Let's bring this guy
back. What if we
back?
cooked a little? Yeah.
So I take it you were a Nintendo kid growing up.
No PC, no Xbox, no PlayStation. It was all Nintendo for me.
We had an Xbox, but again, that was my brother and my dad usually using it. I had a DS, and then I just stuck with my Nintendo games. We also had a GameCube, and then my brother sold it to my uncle. And I don't know where it is now. I'm never going to let him live that down. Zeke, if you're listening.
What GameCube games did you have?
I loved Animal Crossing. And I think Katamari. I feel like Katamari was on.
Katamari was a GameCube game?
Let me look it up. Let me verify that information. It was on the PlayStation, but I don't remember having a PlayStation growing up. No. Oh, I think we did have an older PlayStation at one point in time. I don't know where that is either. We must have gotten rid of that too. But yeah, Animal Crossing was the one I remember most. We're not going to talk about Animal Crossing.
Well, you can talk about Animal Crossing.
It's not an adventure game.
I talked about... No, I guess I kept a little bit on topic.
Yeah, you did.
That's a first. That's a first. Do you still have your DS?
Not my original one, because it was really, really broken. It was very well loved.
Yeah. I got you.
But I had the metallic pink one.
Ooh, that was the one that everyone, I feel like, was like, oh man, I'm jealous of all the metallic pink ones.
There's a video, another home video of me and my brother opening up our Christmas gifts, and it was a DS, and we open it, and someone put it on slow motion, and so it's like baby me, like, I got a DS. DS, and it's really cute.
That's awesome. I had a burgundy DSi.
Oh. I had a light blue DSi.
Nice. Okay. Do you still have the blue one?
The DSi, yes. I don't know where it is, but I do know I have it.
I'm curious. I don't know how the Zelda ports work on the DS, because I was going to recommend the Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask ones, but they might only be for 3DS, which would be frustrating.
I know I have Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask for the DS, and those do play on the DSi and the 2DS, which I've been actually wanting to pick up my 3DS lately because I had a Tamagotchi game that I really loved a lot.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And Cooking Mama.
I mean, you should... Ooh, Cooking Mama. Cooking Mama basically is an adventure game.
Yeah.
Cooking Mama yells at you and screams at you, but then also like deeply praises you, and that feels like an adventure. That's an emotional adventure that you go on.
1,000%, yes. I played Cooking Mama.
And you have to have skills.
2, Dinner with Friends. And she said that every time you opened the game. Cooking Mama. 2, Dinner with Friends. I cooked dinner for all my friends. So fun.
That's lovely.
So fun.
What a good game. Cooking Mama, the Cooking Mama that I had, she always said, I think she just said Cooking Mama in like a really fun, jovial voice.
Yeah.
Cooking Mama.
You might have just had just the OG.
I think I had the OG. I think it was on the Wii. I don't know if that was the OG though. But it was on the Wii, and we had to crack eggs. That was my favorite mini game. Extremely fun. The cream puff recipe, killer. Could never get it right. Suck at that one.
I always messed up at panna cotta. First of all, I didn't know what that was before the game. But then also there was like an unmolding part, and I always broke that.
Yeah.
Always broke it.
I'd be breaking that panna cotta.
No
I can't
way.
keep it in one piece. Mm-mm. No way.
You're getting a pile of
Too
mush.
Flimsy.
So flimsy.
It's custard. I can't
it's either staying in the pan or
I get you.
Yeah. No way.
Well, yeah, because you shake it too hard the first time, and you're like, oh no, I've made a pile of mush. Then the second time, you're like, oh gosh,
gotta tone it down.
Do it real light. You turn it down, and it doesn't even leave the pan. And you're like, well, goddamn it, I guess we'll just go a little bit harder. Boom, and then you do a pile of mush again. It's way too hard. What an impossible game!
Literally impossible.
What a difficult game. I think it's an adventure game.
It's an adventure in my soul.
Dude, you know what's an adventure game, but like not really? Undertale is like, if you do the normal run of the game, it's just an adventure game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if you're not trying to like max out your stats and get like all the money and all the points and everything, all the XP, then the only thing you're doing is exploring the world and talking to the characters.
That's true.
And like, yeah.
Even though you do get into like fights with other characters, it is you like dodging everything. Yeah, you're still not like maxing anything out. That's true. I never thought of it outside of. I love Undertale and Deltarune. I adore Deltarune. Oh my gosh. Okay. My favorite character. Who's your favorite Deltarune? Who's your favorite Undertale?
Your favorite's Lancer. Your favorite is Lancer. It's not.
I don't know. Okay.
That's
now
crazy.
You bring that up. Hold on. Okay. Chapter 2, definitely Lancer.
Yeah. Chapter 2, Lancer. Okay. The OG is not Lancer.
Wait, I don't know.
Okay,
no,
hold on.
It's not. Okay, wait. Okay, hold on. Let me think.
Chapter 2, it's different because there's a bigger cast.
There's a bigger cast.
Chapter 1, it's Lancer. I'm telling you your favorite character. Chapter 1, it's Lancer.
I really loved Ralsei,
Chapter 2.
Though.
Okay.
He's my baby boy.
Okay. Yeah, he is really lovely.
But I do adore Lancer. Yeah. Especially Chapter 2, because then you meet his stupid mom.
Oh, I love the queen.
I love her. I love her song.
Oh, yes. Her song is amazing.
I love all the songs,
music.
Actually.
Yes. Okay, wait, but Chapter 2... So who's your favorite Chapter 2 Deltarune? I have 2 guesses.
Well, I forgot that Lancer was in Chapter 1. I haven't played it in a long time. But, oh man, I don't know. Okay, it's either Ralsei or Lancer.
I think you really love Birdly.
No way.
You're a big Birdly fan.
I appreciate that he's there, but I don't think about him as often as I think about Ralsei and Lancer.
Okay, fair. I was gonna guess Lancer for Chapter 1 and the Queen for Chapter 2.
That's hilarious.
Who's mine? Who's my favorite? Tell me.
I'm bad at this game.
No, but you can decide for me. You get to decide for me.
I know you're a big fan of like main characters, so I'm inclined to say Chris, but I feel like that's not the truth.
It honestly, Chris is so me that I forgot that they were even a character. I wasn't even thinking about them on the list, so you might be right just by de facto. Okay. Who's your second guess?
My second guess.
Yeah.
Are you a Rousey stan?
Absolutely not.
What?
Can't stand that guy.
What?
No, he's sweet. I like him.
Holy crap! You gave me a heart attack.
No. Of course, I like him. He's sweet, but he's not my favorite.
I have no idea.
I didn't mean to jump scare you. It's Susie.
Is it Susie? Okay.
Oh yeah, by far. I made a Susie costume.
Have I seen this costume before?
Probably. I don't think I ever took pictures of it. I think I got really embarrassed. I know.
That's so sad.
I know. I did. I did do a Frisk costume, and I had a friend who was Kara, and we did that for MegaCon one year. That was fun. I do have pictures of that. I'll find those and send those to you. That was a good year. I found all the Metatons I possibly could. I was like, please.
Oh my god! Wait, Spamton. He kind of rules too.
I know Spamton kind of rules. Okay, who's your favorite Undertale character?
Undertale. Let me think.
Because here's the thing, bro. I'm gonna tell you that I think it's Papyrus, but I think you're gonna say that it's not.
It might be Papyrus. Let me think of it. Oh, you know what? It might be Papyrus because I remember getting really emotional anytime I ever interacted with him in middle school.
Yeah. Real. Yeah.
Let me think, though. I love Alphys. Is that her name?
Yes, Alphys is lovely.
Oh, no, it's Metaton. Never mind. It's Metaton. Easy.
It's Metaton. It's gotta
easy.
Be.
Never mind.
It's gotta be.
No contest. I love you, Papyrus, but Metaton has my heart.
I mean, he enters the stage and it's like his stage presence is unparalleled. Literally, what are the Lich twins' names from Taz Balance? They're the closest stage presence to Metaton that I've ever experienced, but Metaton still beats them by so much.
Yeah. Because how can a box have that much charisma?
How?
Easy. Yeah.
How does the box have hot pink boots, knee-high boots like that? How?
Yeah, Metaton's... Who's your favorite Undertale character?
Metaton.
Okay, yeah.
If it's not Metaton, it's Sans, because he's goofy.
He's pretty goofy.
He's so dumb.
Stupid.
Goofy.
We love a...
Actually, no, Papyrus is better than Sans.
I think so, too. I think so, too.
He's... Like, everyone... Like Sans is a Tumblr sexy man, but whatever. I don't care. Papyrus is better.
Papyrus is better. He's a sweetheart.
He's a sweetheart. He's funny.
He's so funny.
Every line he says.
I love... If a character's, like, dumb as a box of crayons, like,
my
heart already. You have it.
Yes.
It's yours.
Papyrus is definitely better than Sans. Sorry, everybody.
I'm so sorry. I'm not sorry.
I'm not sorry.
Sans has enough fans. Papyrus needs us.
Oh, yes. Also a big fan of Azriel.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a bigger fan of Azriel than I am of Rousey. Don't know why.
That's okay. I just like when a character's one, stupid, and or two, a sweetheart.
Yes.
Rousey's a little bit of both, huh? Rousey's a little stupid. He's more of a sweetheart than he's stupid, I think.
I think adventure games have to have, for me to enjoy them thoroughly, they have to have a good soundtrack.
Yeah.
Undertale, check.
Mega check.
Big check on that one,
Mega check.
Fantastic soundtrack.
That's one of the I'm not a soundtrack listener. I know you are. I'm not.
Yeah.
But Undertale, that's one that I will listen to all the time. Doesn't matter. Because I like to, usually when I listen to a song, I like to sing along to it. Undertale, no, I do not sing along to it, but I listen to it and I'm playing the game in my head right now, and it's awesome.
Yes.
It's
what's your favorite boss theme from Undertale?
I don't know. Not off the top of my head. I know I listen to Spider Dance a lot.
I was gonna say Spider Dance. I listen to that all the time. Bergen Truckin' also. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Extremely good. There was a kid,
really, really good.
There was a kid. My abuelita used to teach piano, and there was a kid who would always play Undertale covers at the recitals, and I wanted to be his friend so bad.
Yes.
So if you're out there, I don't remember his name.
If you're listening to this podcast,
can we talk about Undertale,
email us at
please?
gestures. Plug the email. It's my favorite thing to do.
Gesterspod@gmail.com.
Gesterspod@gmail.com.
If you're listening from Russia, also tell us.
Also, yeah,
tell us
we
about
checked the
that.
analytics the other day.
That, please.
Who are you? Are you having a good time? Are you having a good day? What's going on? Hope you're well.
Well, what else?
Hope you're enjoying the pod.
Okay, I'm gonna pivot a little bit. Have you ever played Rusty Lake games? Okay.
Maybe. I don't know is that a developer name?
That is the
or
developer
studio
name. But it's also
Okay.
kind of the name of the franchise also, because I think that's all they do.
Okay.
But they are adventure puzzle games, and they're very eerie. And it's about a family with, like, I guess there's magic in there. There's, like, rituals, and it's very creepy. And I adore all of them. They're very fun. It's, like, my favorite. I play them on mobile. I think they're available on PC also. That's all I gotta say about that, I guess.
Okay.
They're really fun. It's a point and click. It's a point and click adventure game. And a lot of the times you're, like, in one room or in a couple rooms, and you have to find, like, the key that unlocks this cabinet, and in the cabinet there's a jar, and you have to fill the jar with water, and you have to water the plant, and blah, 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 blah. And there's these themes of, like, rebirth and familial, like, and the art style is kind of gross, but that adds to it because it's, like, weird and eerie. And I heard a song, a classical music. I was listening to classical music the other day, and
me too. It's okay.
I just don't do that very often. And I heard one of the songs from the Rusty Lake games, and I was like,
"Oh wow,
what is happening?" I feel so horrible right now. I feel like he's gonna get me. There's this one game called The Past Within, and it's a multiplayer game, which is the first one they've ever done. And you have to have two players who both have the games on their devices. And you don't have to play, like, there isn't, like, a server you have to join or anything. You just have to, like, be able to communicate with the other. And so the premise is one of you is stuck in the past and one of you is stuck in the future. And there's clues in each one that get you to, like, progress throughout the game. And it's very, very cool. And my brothers and I played it a while ago, and they were, like, super into it. It was really fun. It was a really cool, fun thing. And there's, like, a Discord you can join, and if you don't have someone to play with, you can hop on a call with someone, which is awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think they just released a new browser-based game that I haven't looked at yet, but I'm very excited to look at it because I've played every single one, and it's so fun.
Okay, well, you just reminded me of independent games and, like, small games. We talked a lot about, like, big games, but some of my favorite games of all time are tiny little games. And there's one, it's a really, maybe I've talked to you about this, and I hope I have. If not, I'm glad I'm talking to you about it now. But there was this game a couple years ago. I think it was around the start of quarantine times when it released, but it was called Meat Space Ephemera, and it was a browser game. And the person who made it, the developer, made it so that you are forced to have connection with other people. So the creator put a post up on Tumblr saying, "Hey, I made this game, and if you want to play it, here's the code, tell your friends." And basically that's all that they said, right? And then you log into the game, and it's just browser. You don't have to make an account. You just go on and play the game, and you put in this password, and the password changes a lot, so you have to keep up to date. And you get into this space, and you walk around. I think you start in, like, a little TV room, sort of like a little living room with nobody else in there, and then you find a door that has the number 1 on it, and you walk through that door. And then you open up to this huge forest. And you walk through this forest for a while, and eventually when you get to the other side of this forest, there's a door. And the door says 2 on it. And you try to open it, and you can't open it. And then you tell your friend, "Hey, come play this game with me." And your friend shows up in the game. and they walk through that TV door, and then they walk to the other side of the forest, and the two of you together
open that door.
Mm-hmm. And then the next room has 4, and the next room after that has 8, and you have to keep getting your friends in order to progress in the game.
It's really cute.
And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And my favorite creative decision probably about that game is that there's no chat, there's no audio, there's no text chat, there's no audio chat. It's just you walking around, and you have to try and communicate as best as you can. If you're not on Discord with someone because you know them directly, then you have to be able to try and communicate with them through gestures, through jumping up and down, like running and looking and stuff, which is so clever. I love that it's such a quiet game. I don't know. One of my favorite levels is just a big sprawling beach, and there's a big bonfire in the middle, and there's no sounds other than the crackle of the big bonfire and the waves pushing in and out. And it's just, I don't know, it's a really peaceful game that's all about community and friendship and getting people together. It's lovely.
That's wonderful. I know a game that's kind of similar to that. It's called Sky. Have you played that?
Mm-mm.
It's very similar. That there's also no like chat or audio, but you do have like gestures. You can talk to. It's a little different because you start out alone and you wander around their first level, finish it, whatever, and then you get to the second level, and then you can see like other players. They just like hop in, and like then you can join together. You can be friends, and then like progress through the levels together. And you can, like, if I remember correctly, you can leave little like messages around. So like there's these little flames around, and little things floating around in the water, and if you click on them, then it starts playing their messages. And it's a really sweet game. And you can call on them later. You can like become like actual friends with them, and then if they're online, you can like, hey, join my game, let's play together again.
I love games like that. That's
really sweet.
That's really cool.
Another indie game I played was A Short Hike. Have you played this?
Oh yeah, I haven't played it, but
it's really cute.
I know of it.
It's really cute.
Mm-hmm.
You're just a little bird, and you take a short hike up a mountain. It's a wonderful, self-contained game. Also, the music, wonderful, perfect, incredible. I actually found it because I follow Griffin McElroy on Spotify, and he has a playlist, and I heard it on one of his playlists, and I was like, okay, the music rules. I gotta get.
Gotta play that game.
Gotta get this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got you. That's cool. We never defined adventure games formally, and I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I think it's a broad category. This one is probably the furthest from an adventure game in the traditional sense, but I think honestly one of the biggest contenders for me thinking about something as an adventure game is atmosphere. Like if a game has a really strong atmosphere, it doesn't really matter to me what the like mechanical genre of the game is. Meat Space Ephemera is not an adventure game explicitly, like you're not going on an adventure, but it feels extremely atmospheric because of everything, just the graphics and the audio mixing and everything. So there's this independent game called Elevator Hitch by Rachel Draws This, I think, on itch.io, and it's a horror puzzle game with like surrealist themes and visuals, where you're a new hire at a business job, at an office job, desk job, and it's basically about the horrors of working a desk job and like what it means to reduce yourself to a resume and work mindless
efficiency.
Data entry and all the efficiency. Yes, like all of that bullshit is what this game uses as its horror, as the base for horror. But visually, aesthetically, it pulls on like 70s office aesthetics specifically. So like the soundtrack is it feels really like retro, but also very spooky and kind of unnatural. But all of the office workers have kind of like 70s suits on, so it doesn't feel modern. And the out of time, out of place feeling that it has, I think does a lot for the atmosphere and making it feel like an adventure game. And it's also, it feels like an adventure in that it has one of those like, it's designed with like levels basically. So it's a puzzle, and it's actually kind of a pretty linear puzzle once you figure it out. But when you're first playing the game, you have no idea because the entire game you're in the elevator and you're going up and down onto these different floors of the elevator that the elevator gets off on. And before you know the order that you need to go onto these floors in order to solve the puzzle correctly, it feels very much like not open world adventure game, but it feels like an adventure of you trying to figure out what each of these rooms offers to the complete picture so that you can progress and like solve the story that the game offers. And artistically it's fantastic. It's drawn by Rachel Draws This, and I forget the name of the other artist. I'm sorry. I'll try and put that in the episode description. But as a creative duo, artistically, the game is so much fun. It's 2.5D, which also you don't see a lot in games. So there's a lot of like flat screens of just two characters, kind of like visual novel style. Like the characters will emote differently depending on their dialogue. But then while you're in the elevator, there's also a 3D part where you like turn around in the 3D space. So like four walls basically. So like you turn around to 4 different points, and it's a very immersive game from soundtrack to story to plot, everything. It's very cool. I think you'd get a kick out of that one. Anybody would. It's free, by the way.
Free.
It's free to play.
That's huge.
You can tip your developers, but
yes, please.
It's free to play if you want to play it. Anything else we want to say?
Quick shout out to Monument Valley.
Oh,
I love you, Monument Valley. Again, puzzle
atmosphere.
Game. Atmosphere. Huge atmosphere.
Yep. Puzzle game with atmosphere.
Yeah. Awesome. Oh man, I just love Monument Valley. I think it might be about time that I do a replay. I replay it about once a year because it's fun. You have to navigate through these like MC Escher type buildings, which is very awesome.
Yes.
But then also it has the story of the person you are navigating as. So fun and awesome. Also, really quick, Slime Rancher, because it's really cute. Have you played Slime Rancher?
I have not, but that's awesome. I love that you shouted out Slime Rancher. I love
Slime Rancher.
That's awesome.
Oh my gosh, I love Slime Rancher. Because again, like it's not super, you take care of your little slimes and everything, but then as you wander through the world, you can get like, you find these little notes from the previous rancher, and you find out like what happened, what's going on, and then you get letters from your folks in other planets, and it's just great.
Izzy, do you have a song?
Beans, not this time.
For me this week? I've got one. You want to ask me first this week?
Yeah, let's switch things up. Do you have a song for me?
Yes, I'm going to recommend, because we talked about classical music for 2.2 seconds earlier, Lacrimosa by Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, because it got played in the most recent episode of Chaz Dracula, and it made me happy.
Yes. I believe it. You know what? I think it got played on an earlier episode too, because I remember looking up, what is that song?
Oh,
dude,
yeah.
It might have been, I was listening to Chaz Dracula, and that was the song that was in the Rusty Lake game.
Oh.
That might have been it.
That's okay.
That's kind of funny.
Possible.
That's kind of awesome.
That is kind of funny.
I'm going to choose Caterpillars of the Commonwealth by Will Connolly, because I listened to it all the time in high school after my Be More Chill phase.
Oh, yeah. So
and
true.
then I just remembered he existed 2 days ago. And that song is so good. Please listen to it.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for listening to Jesters of the Round Table. We hope you've enjoyed this conversation on adventure games.
If you want to follow us on Instagram or TikTok, we have accounts there. And the username is Jesters Roundtable. You can also email us at jesterspod@gmail.com and listen anywhere your heart desires.
Questions. Yes, exactly. thank you guys so much for listening. And we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Bye. Hi, everybody. Oh gosh, how do we do the thing? Do a podcast?
I don't know. Usually, I think the last couple episodes we just started talking about nonsense, and then
that's true. I was gonna overshare for a second, and then I decided I didn't want a TMI on the podcast.
My mom said hi.
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 I say hi back.
Sorry.
There you
She
go.
kept making faces.